Stampeders with a record of 7-1. Barracudas 5-3, and we're underway. Taken by Coleman at the 18-yard line. Coleman moves to the outside, and he's brought down at the 30. Tackle made on the play by Drew David, number 32. Calgary offensively, really the man we need to focus on now is the quarterback, number 7, Jeff Garcia, Alan Pitts, Pee Wee Smith, David Sapunjis. 3 good wide receivers who Garcia will look to go to on frequent occasion. Now, Garcia is a man who comes out of San Jose State and did have good success in his limited time last week in a quarter of a half of football against this Brimingham team. The rookie making his first CFL start. Starts from the 30-yard line. And he will be rushing out of the pocket and working his way nicely, improvising for an 8-yard gain up to the 38-yard line. Brought down by Mike James, and James and his teammates on the play. Really the focus on the defensive unit of Brimingham is the youth in the backfield. 7 of the 8 DBs that you will see this evening are rookies. The man spotlighted up front, though, is number 56, Shawnte Peoples. Peoples, the number 2 sack man with 5 on the year, was a defensive back at Michigan, weighing 210 pounds. He's bulked himself up to 250 and likes to rush the quarterback as a member of the Brimingham Barracudas. 2nd and 3. The handoff good for the first down. Sean Daniels, the ball carrier. And do keep in mind here in the CFL, it's 3 downs, not 4, Coach.
Mike, and when you look at Jeff Garcia, he made his claim to fame at San Jose State under John Ralston. In the East-West game, he threw 3 touchdown passes and caught the attention of the Canadian League coaches. But he's a 4'8", 40 guy, but you saw in the first play, he had some escapability and was able to pick up good yardage on first down.
So 1st and 10 situation. Football spotted on the 43-yard line. Daniels in the backfield again, and he gets the football and bowls ahead to the side. Now, neither of these football teams will run on frequent occasion, and we should also note that Sean Daniels is in the lineup tonight because of an injury to their starting running back, and that's Tony Stewart, the all-time leading rusher in Iowa. So Garcia not only in, but in without their main running back.
Well, Mike, if you're going to run the ball on first down, you want to at least be 2nd and 4 or shorter, because of you've only got 1 more down as you look at John Huffnagel, the offensive coordinator, to pick up the first down.
And just a gain of 3 on the last play brings up a 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Garcia over the middle, wide open receiver. David Sapunjis is inside Birmingham territory.
Good throw by Jeff Garcia. David Sapunjis is a type of receiver, a headsy type receiver that can find the hole in the zone defense. Had him last year against Baltimore, and he makes so many key catches. Here you see number 25, David Sapunjis, just trying to find the hole and sitting down, let Jeff Garcia throw in the football. Jimmy Reed on the tackle.
Gain of 12 on the play, good for the first down. Sapunjis, one of the all-time great receivers in Calgary history. Daniels, the single back set again. He goes in the motion on the right side. A quick hit to the sideline. Reception made by Terry Vaughn, and Vaughn breaks a couple of tackles. Gets nicely inside the 35-yard line before he was finally hauled down by Tommy Orr.
Terry Vaughn's 5'8", 183 out of Arizona, but he's tough to bring down. Coaches told me before the game that hardly ever does the first tackler bring him down. Very elusive. You know what's interesting, Mike, is these 2 teams played a week ago and the adjustments that coaches have to make. I think the advantage goes to Calgary, because when you lose a game like that, you look at the film a little closer, and they're trying to different type game plan, a little bit more 2-back to start the game off.
An impressive drive thus far put together by Jeff Garcia, moving the football down to the 36-yard line of Birmingham. Goes up top, man tries to spring free, and it's too far for the intended receiver, number 18, Alan Pitts. Anthony Drawhorn was on the coverage.
Good pressure by Mark Ledbetter, number 94. Jeff Garcia, what they're trying to do here early in the ball game is little play action fakes to try to hold this defensive line. Ledbetter was able to get through and put a good hit on Jeff Garcia.
Spent the last 2 seasons playing with the Sacramento franchise, which is now the San Antonio Texans. And there's a familiar face, Jack Pardee. He's coached just about everywhere. That's the easy way to put it. Now the head coach in the first season here of CFL action in Birmingham, Alabama.
Mike, you got to figure David Sapunjis again, inside receiver, number 25, trying to find a hole.
There he is. Good defensive play. The pass broken up nicely by Andre Strobe. Strobe, 5'8", 177 out of Colorado State. knew what you thought, and that was that the football was going towards Sapunchis.
He broke on the ball very well. Andre Strode, he's 5'8", 197, and sets up the field goal attempt here for Calgary. But a pretty good drive by Jeff Garcia. Gets a little bit a good start here for Calgary, and a good drive.
Now Doug Flutie is on to hold for Mark McLaughlin, who has been just excellent. Look at those numbers, 22 of 24 on the year. This will be a 43-yard field goal attempt. He's 3 for 3 from 40 to 49, make it 4 for 4, and McLaughlin continues to be excellent. 23 of 25 on the year, and Garcia drives Calgary to 3 points in the opening drive.
As long as we both shall live.
As long as we both shall live.
May I now have the rings?
Number one dad lost his number one status when he forgot to make the morning coffee. So, world's best mom was more than happy to make a cup of delicious Starbucks Via. She got to the office just in time to save Best Friend Forever from the office coffee. Best Friend Forever bravely shared Starbucks Via with Don't Talk to Me Until My Second Cup, before he even had his first. He shared it with I Hate Mondays, who had 3 cups because it was, after all, Monday. Premium Starbucks Via Ready Brew. Never be without great coffee. Available at your local Starbucks.
Imagine. 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 Imagine.
Lotto 649's next jackpot is $12 million.
Mr. T has the greatest hair in the world. You can't deny it. It's been proven by science, fool. Now you can have the greatest hair in the world of Warcraft with the Mohawk grenade. Yeah, wherever I go, I'm making Warcraft look good. So don't give me no back talk. Try World of Warcraft free at warcraft.com.
Find a Night Elf Mohawk in-game and claim your Mohawk grenades.
Rated T for teen.
I'm Mr. T and I'm a Night Elf Mohawk. What's your game?
Fresh, minty, handsome.
Oh, minty.
Mindy? Beautiful, isn't it?
Breathtaking. Fresh.
For a fresh breath feeling that lasts up to 5 times longer, there's new Scope Outlast.
Fresh. Fresher. Freshest. Fresher-shist. The new fresh scents from Old Spice.
You're watching ESPN Classic.
Doug Flutie still working it on the sidelines, speaking with David Sapunchis and the quarterback Jeff Garcia. And Flutie, I'll tell you what, he has brought not only some great gamemanship to the city of Calgary, but has really brought a signature of class to the whole CFL, Coach.
Well, you know, when you have this ball game here at Birmingham, everyone was looking forward to Doug Flutie playing tonight. So a little bit of a disappointment for the fans.
Birmingham in their inaugural season here in the Canadian Football League. Off to a pretty good start. Now, keep in mind, as you notice, there was no kickoff here. You can choose to not kick off in the CFL and start your football play from the 35-yard line, and that's what Matt Dunigan and the offense of the Barracudas is doing right here.
I thought I missed a kickoff.
CFL, a couple of different rules. We'll go over them throughout the evening. Matt Dunigan, we introduced to you at the beginning of the show, works from the shotgun. Dunigan on 2nd and 10, complete. Marcus Grant on the reception. Al Jordan got the hit. There's Dunigan, number 16 in the middle. And a man to look for is number 68 tonight. That is Roosevelt Patterson. He has not played the tackle position. He's on the right side, 68 of your screen. He has not played the tackle position since his collegiate days in Alabama. And he will be matched up against a fine pass rusher this evening in Will Johnson of the Calgary Stampeders. Gain of 18, 1st and 10. Dunigan with the quick hit. It goes incomplete. And setting up the defense for Calgary, Vaughn and Jordan with Knox is a good defensive backfield. And the man I was speaking of is on the left side of the front four, number 81, Will Johnson. Last year, he led the CFL with 17 sacks. He did not play last week or the week prior due to an injury. And so this is his first matchup this year against the Birmingham Barracudas. He'll work the youngster Patterson. Now Dunigan double pumps, pass is complete. Marcus Grant again the receiver. And Al Jordan is the man who forces him towards the sidelines.
Mike, what they did is they put all 4 receivers to the front side, and then the short side receiver was Marcus Grant. When you do that in the CFL, you're going to get a one-on-one situation here against Al Jordan, number 27. Ran the out route, picked up the first down. Pretty good call by John Jenkins.
Marcus Grant, number 81, number 4 receiver in the CFL. 6 touchdowns on the year. He's averaging over 21 yards per catch. Now Dunigan on 1st and 10. Goes to the other side of the field. Almost intercepted. Jason Phillips, the intended receiver on the play, and it went through the hands of Marvin Coleman.
Matt Dunigan, as we said in the open, has a very strong arm. Can throw the ball from hash to hash to the wide side of the field. Has a great quick release also. John Jenkins says he's just picking up the offense, getting better every week in the run and shoot.
Well, Calgary's defense had not allowed over 300 yards passing at all until last week in a single game when Dunigan put up those 433 yards. 2nd and 10. Dunigan with the pitch to the near side. Ball carriers Keith Woodside. And he will be just short of the first down marker.
Little sprint option to the weak side, figuring they're in man coverage. Keith Woodside, number 31, recipient. There's the option. Down the line of scrimmage by Matt Dunigan, kicking the ball out to Keith Woodside, trying to catch him in man coverage, and Birmingham's going to take a timeout and talk this one over.
It's setting up as a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 situation after the carry by Woodside. All indications are Luis Zendejas on to attempt the field goal and tie this football game at 3 apiece. Jack Pardee, well, we know that from his days in Houston. Same here in Birmingham, does not run the football very often. A 37-yard field goal attempt for Zendejas, playing in his 2nd game as a Birmingham Barracuda. And his kick is good, and we are tied at 3. So Dunigan completes a couple of passes. Zendejas comes in, and this football game is tied with 8:07 remaining in the first.
Tired of your car taking a beating? It gets dinged, scratched and nicked, and you pay the price. Hi, Billy Mays here for Fix-It, the instant scratch remover that repairs dings, scratches and nicks on contact. Fix-It has a professional, fast-action formula that repairs, fills and seals the scratch, blending with any color for a perfect match. Like magic, the scratch disappears right before your eyes. Using Fix-It is so easy. Just press the Easy On applicator, apply, and let dry. That's it. The resins fill the scratch while UV hardeners cure in natural sunlight. Fix-It goes on clear, dries clear, so it's virtually invisible. No sanding, tools, or hard labor. You just fix it fast. Got a scratch? Fix it. Got a door ding? Fix it. Got a nick? Fix it and forget it. If seeing is believing, watch this. Can you imagine having a scratch like this? Now watch Fix-It go to work. It feels it. It seals it. It disappears like magic. The scratch has met its match with Fix-It.
I took Fix-It Pro, ran it one time down the scratch, gone. It was that simple.
I found Fix-It Pro, applied it to the scratches, removed them. Looks wonderful, looks like brand new.
You'd pay a professional over $100 just to repair one scratch, but now you can get Fix-It for this incredibly low price.
Save hundreds of dollars and do it yourself with Fix-It Pro, the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to repair just about any scratch, ding, or nick. Fix-It Pro doesn't mask or hide temporarily. UV activated by the power of the sun. It fills the scratch permanently, bonding with your car's clear coat finish, guaranteed not to wash off, wear off, fade, warp, or peel. Fix-It Pro can be yours for the incredible low price of only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. But wait, if you phone now, we'll double this offer. Get 2 pens for the price of 1. Just pay additional shipping and handling. Any car, any color, fix it the professional way with Fix-It Pro. Call now.
8:07 remaining in the first quarter. Put everything in perspective for you. Calgary suffered their first loss of this CFL season last week at the hands of Birmingham. They have the best record in the Northern Division at 7-1. The defending Grey Cup champion BC Lions, number 2, at 7-2. You go over to the Southern Division, and that's where all the U.S. teams are based. Baltimore was a winner earlier today up against Toronto, so they moved to 7-3. Birmingham, a game less played, hoping to move to 6-3 tonight with the victory. Now, keep in mind one thing, you see less teams in the Southern Division. The number 5 seed in the North, when the playoffs come, will move to the Southern Division as they approach the Grey Cup to be played this year in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Mike, go back to the decision that the Birmingham team made not to receive the kickoff. I would think in this game you'd want to receive the kickoffs because special teams is such a big factor with the wide field that I would want the ball on the kickoff. I'd want to try to return kickoff.
Zendejas. It will be taken at the 19-yard line by Marvin Coleman. Coleman a good return last time, and now he does it again outside the 40-yard line, still on his feet, finally hauled down at the 43. 25-yard return for Marvin Coleman. There's the numbers for Jeff Garcia. 2 of 4, 28 yards in his first drive that resulted in the McLaughlin field goal of 43 yards. Good field position for Garcia to start from. 1st and 10, football spotted on the 44-yard line of the Stampeders. Hand off around the outside. The ball carrier again, Sean Daniels out of Bowling Green. And Tommy Orr gets the stop.
Excuse me, Mike. Looks like what Calgary is trying to do on 1st down, because Birmingham is widening the defensive end so wide to rush the passer. They're going to try to keep them at home and run the football on 1st down to try to make them come in a little bit. As you look at John Huffnagel, former Penn Stater and offensive coordinator.
Gain of 5 on the run by Daniels. And going to bring up the 2nd and 5 from the shotgun. Flag on the play. Showing his versatility again. Garcia throws it up, complete. Reception made by Pee Wee Smith at the 27-yard line. Mark Ledbetter had pressure on the quarterback, and Garcia was able to elude the pressure and complete the 35-yard pass. We'll see if it sticks, though.
48, decline, 1st down.
Mike, it was offside on Birmingham, but what you watch now, this is twice now Jeff Garcia has been able to escape the rush and make something happen, and that's what you want in the Canadian Football League as well as in the NFL. You like a quarterback that can escape the rush and make the big play, and that's just what Jeff Garcia was able to do with the pass to Pee Wee Smith.
That's something that has earned Doug Flutie a healthy amount of paychecks in this league.
And a lot of yards.
You got that right. He topped 30,000 in his career last week in his performance against this team. Garcia, though, in charge, goes over the middle. Sapunjas gets in to the end zone. Touchdown, Calgary, David Sapunjas.
When you see an excited Jeff Garcia going to the steadiest receiver on this football team, David Sapunjas, number 25 on the post route.
26-yard touchdown reception from Jeff Garcia to the ever-reliable David Sapunjas. Sapunjas had 2 touchdowns last week against these very Birmingham Barracudas, and there's Doug Flutie in again to hold as the convert attempt comes the way of the foot of Mark McLaughlin. Mark McLaughlin makes his 307th consecutive convert. And Jeff Garcia has been very, very impressive offensively. Him in Calgary, the 10-3 lead.
He had good zip on that ball. I mean, that was a good pass, very accurately thrown to Sapunjas, and you've got to feel good if you're Calgary, the way he's starting off. Here's the throw on the post to David Sapunjas, a little bit behind him, but you see David Sapunjas being able to adjust to the football and come back and make that catch. Here's the route now. We're going to watch David Sapunjas go down, stick. Now he's running the post. Now watch him come back and make the catch. Good concentration, and then the last-minute effort to dive to get in the end zone.
Presenting this year's Golden Realtor Award, Lead Masters.
Rule number 93, seeing is believing. Visit Budweiser on Facebook for your chance to be at Bud Camp and see for yourself. Must be 19 or older, no purchase necessary.
Imagine. 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 Imagine.
Lotto 649's next jackpot is $12 million.
It's not where you've been. It's where your armpits smell like you've been. Old Spice Matterhorn. One of 4 triumphantly fresh new scents from Old Spice.
If you're like my patients, you want to hear you've done a good job. That's why I recommend a rinse like Crest Pro Health Multi-Protection. It helps you get a better dental checkup. So be ready for your next dental checkup. Crest Pro Health Multi-Protection Rinse.
Start your engine.
Buy mobile for a chance to win a GMC Sierra. Visit Canadian Tire or parts stores for contest details.
The man in the background with the glasses on right there is Wally Buono, the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders. And in the decade of the 90s, he has the most regular season wins. And look at the impressive records put up under Calgary's head coach Wally Buono the last 2 years at 15-3. Grey Cup winners after a regular season record of 13-5 in 1992. And indeed, you have to call what happened in the Western Finals 1 year ago an upset, as the BC Lions' Darren Flutie was able to get a last-second reception to give the Lions the victory over the Calgary Stampeders and Big Brother Doug. And Calgary starting off 7-0 this year, losing to Brimingham, but wondering, as you get a good look at the offensive unit, how long they will be without their quarterback, Doug Flutie. If you joined us late, Flutie with a tear in the elbow of his throwing arm. He is not in the lineup this evening. As far as the quarterback position, he has been on the hold for Mark McLaughlin, the place kicker. There was a holding penalty after the punt, so back in the deep in their own end. Pee-wee Smith trying to get Jeff Garcia out of trouble. It goes incomplete.
Angelo Snipes is a defensive lineman that Calgary has to control. Now watch the running back, number 34. Sean Daniels, he's going to pick up Snipes, but he misses him. Now they're trying to help Bruce Beaton, the left tackle, because Bruce Beaton had some trouble with Angelo Snipes last week. So they're going to try to give him some help with the back, and sometimes Jamie Crysdale, the center, will come out and double on Angelo Snipes.
Deep at the 11-yard line of Calgary, Garcia works at 2nd and 10. Dumps it off to the far side. Terry Vaughn on the reception, and Vaughn able to gain 3, maybe 4 yards at best. Fernando Thomas was right there defensively, along with Mike James.
Big mistake by Terry Vaughn, because they had the screen set up, but he had to come back to the football and come inside. He had no chance to get outside with Fernando Thomas outside, so a mistake by Terry Vaughn causes the punt.
Tony Martino to punt for the first time. The rookie out of Arizona, Eddie Britton out of Central State, number 1, back deep to receive.
Special teams such a big part of the Canadian game because of the wide field. There's only 37 players on a roster. Defensive players got to continue to stay in the game, and special teams, a lot of big plays.
Britton is set at about the midfield line. The kick forces him back to the 49. He fields it there. A flag on the play, and then another flag. I think we're going to have a hit from behind, but Britton has plenty of field to which to work. Only Martino to beat. Britton still on his feet, brought down at the 14-yard line. Great return by Eddie Britton. A 50-yard return. Finally, Steve Madison brought him down and avoided the touchdown. I think the first flag we're going to see in the Canadian Football League, Coach, you have to give the receiver of a punt a 5-yard cushion. And I think they invaded that 5-yard space. And then the hit from behind as the second flag came a moment later. No fair catches in the CFL, but you do have to give that 5-yard cushion.
No yards. Calgary number 14. Illegal block. Birmingham. First down.
Here's the cushion, Eddie Britton. Now there's the block, but now he's able to get outside to get to the picket fence. You're going to see a real nice block. Now he just had to beat the punter, Martino, and he was able to stop him.
Nonetheless, because of the hit from behind, a great return nullified. And now the pass complete to Ted Long, number 86 out of Oklahoma. He is brought down by Anthony McClanahan, a gain of 16 yards on the play.
Ted Long's an interesting story out of Oklahoma. He had only 38 catches in his entire career at Oklahoma, so he's going to see a lot of catches here for the Birmingham offense in the run and shoot. He's a former high school running back.
9 catches for 92 yards last week. Against Calgary was his best outing of the year. And Matt Dunigan, the quarterback out of Louisiana Tech, in his 13th season. And he's back in the South where he's from. Born in Dallas, and so I think he's enjoying playing and prolonging his CFL career in Birmingham.
I think his wife's from Birmingham, and that had to really play a big decision in him coming to Birmingham. They decided right away, Jack Pardee and John Jenkins, that he was their quarterback. He's the guy they wanted to get. Arthur Williams, the owner, was able to do this, and he's their franchise player here.
Now the player on the field injured is Dondre Owens out of Howard University, first-year player. And he was nailed by Marcus Grant on the play. Grant, number 81. And then Long trying to gain a couple extra yards at the end. And now, thankfully, Dondre Owens is up and walking off the field under his own power. 10-3 our score, still in the first quarter, 2:32 remaining. Jeff Garcia in place of Doug Flutie has been impressive thus far. Mike Goldberg, Mike Gottfried, ESPN2 coverage of the CFL continuing all the way through the playoffs in the Grey Cup from Regina, Saskatchewan, home of the Rough Riders.
Mike, you see maybe see a blitz here. Greg Knox, the safety, number 8, is up tight, giving Matt Dunigan a look. You see now they have Matt Dunigan a little bit confused where he's going to check off to the alignment of Greg Knox.
Knox in his 4th year out of Toronto. Dunigan out of the shotgun. Dunigan able to dump it off, complete to Donald Moffitt. And Moffitt works it inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play. Knox, the man we spoke of, number 8, makes the stop.
They're showing a lot of different coverages with Greg Knox. He's usually the center fielder as a free safety, playing in the middle of the football field. They're moving him all over to try to confuse Matt Dunigan.
2nd and 3, Keith Woodside, the man who gets the majority of the rushes for this football team, checks in. He's on the right side of Dunigan. Springs himself. Now they go over the middle through the hands of Matt Cody, and incomplete.
Matt Cody was open. He just did not get his eyes back to Matt Dunigan and was not able to pick up the football. Ball was thrown right on the money. Matt Cody should have made that catch.
Gerald Vaughn had the football go through his hands too, looking for the interception. And Dunigan will come away empty of the end zone. And Zendejas in to attempt his 2nd field goal of the contest.
That's that strong arm of Matt Dunigan. He has a cannon for an arm throwing the football.
34-yard field goal attempt. The first one off the foot of Zendejas from 45 yards. And the only points Birmingham has put up offensively here in the first quarter. A 42-yarder by Zendejas is up. And it is good. So Luis Zendejas, that's the reason they signed him. 2 for 2 on the night. And Calgary's lead cut to 4, 10-6 the score, with 1:18 remaining in the first quarter. Marvin Coleman and Pee Wee Smith back deep to receive for Calgary, as the Stampeders lead 10-6. Fielded at the 16-yard line by Pee Wee Smith. Smith gets outside the 30. Flag on the play as Smith finally brought down at about the 37-yard line. Reggie Marable makes the special teams play, a return of 21 yards. And Garcia's numbers, 5 of 8, 92 yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions thus far. Number 88 is Vince Danielson out of British Columbia. And the holding violation will move the football back, and it will be spotted at the 20-yard line of the Stampeders. Garcia had the benefit of great field position. And he put up the opening field goal and the touchdown pass to Sapunjas. Backed off to the 20, working first down in traffic, complete to Sapunjas. Sapunjas out past the 35, breaks a couple of tackles. Finally, he's hauled down at the 42-yard line by Jimmy Reid. A gain of 22 yards on the play by David Sapunjas.
Well, it's a good call by John Huffnagel, because what you want to do for Jeff Garcia is slow the pass rush down and make sure you've got Angelo Snipes controlled. Now here's Angelo Snipes. You're going to play action pass. You got beaten number 64 coming back. Now you got backs picking him up. You've got some help from your other guard. And now here's the fake. Jeff Garcia just sits back in there, finds Davis Sapunjas in the middle of the field for the big gain.
From the 41-yard line, Garcia on the quick hit to the near side to Terry Vaughn. Vaughn breaks a tackle, and he gets near another Calgary first down as the final seconds of the first quarter tick away. Mike James makes the stop, Terry Vaughn the reception. And Calgary, without Doug Flutie, after one quarter of play, leads the football game here at Legion Field. 10-6. Garcia thus far has been impressive.
It's time to draw a line in the pavement. Fight for what you believe. And let the world know you'll never give up joy in the name of practicality. The fuel-efficient, fun-injected Mazda 6. Zoom Zoom today, tomorrow. Zoom Zoom. Forever.
The Coors Light Golf experience is back. And for obvious legal reasons, that's all we can say about that. In fact, we cannot confirm or deny that we're looking to make your day on the course any wilder or crazier. Look for a shivering can for your chance to get in. Plus, there's other great prizes. No purchase necessary. Must be 19 or older. Details at CoorsLight.ca. Okay, it'll be wilder. Coors Light. Who wants a cold one?
No one can help you like we can. We know what you're going through. And no one will be there like we will. 'Cause we're all homeowners too. Whatever the chore, we've been there before. Selection and price, the helpful advice. Homeowners, helping homeowners.
Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations.
Last summer, Kraft and TSN took SportsCenter on the road. Hundreds of communities responded with over 1 million votes. This summer, we're doing it again. Nominate your community at tsn.ca/Kraft Celebration Tour. If chosen, your town will receive a $25,000 community refresh from Kraft. And SportsCenter will broadcast live from your town. Celebrate this summer with the Kraft Celebration Tour. 10 great towns in 10 summer days. Brought to you in part by Kraft Singles for growing bodies and smiling faces.
Jeff Garcia, the quarterback tonight, playing for the injured Doug Flutie. The first ever to be named most outstanding player in the CFL in the past 4 years. But Garcia, 7 of 10, 124 yards. And Dunigan, 5 of 10 for 62 yards in the first quarter. Not bad. I thought we were going to the other one. I thought we were going to the Dougie Flutie great games. Sean Daniels, the single back. Now we'll work over to the right side from the 51-yard line of Calgary. Daniels, the ball carrier. It's a good gain of about 5 yards on the play out to the 55-yard line. Angelo Snipes, the ball carrier. Well, Coach, you run the football, and you talked about it earlier on first down in the CFL, and there's a ton more pressure. You can't go 4-4 and then 2 in running plays because you've only got 3 plays.
Mike, good point, but they're sending a message to the Birmingham defense because they're taking Snipes and Shante Peoples so wide that they're going to try to rush Jeff Garcia, that they're just trying to keep that defense honest with the run and the short passing game.
And the experienced part of the Birmingham defensive unit is the front 4. Peoples 56 on the near side. Garcia avoids him, goes the way of big Alan Pitts, and Pitts makes the reception, forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Running through the dasher boards, but big Alan Pitts is okay out of Cal State Fullerton, a gain of 26 yards on the play.
Everything that they are doing so far, Calgary on offense, is designed to help Jeff Garcia. Here's another play-action pass. Now watch what happens to Shante Peoples. He's blocked by Sean Daniels. Now let's go the other side. Angelo Snipes, he's doubled, bumped. The center gets a piece of him. Bobby Pandelis gets over to help block him. So you've got people blocking those two outside rushers and controlling them so that they cannot get to Jeff Garcia. Pretty good game plan here early.
Vaughn, Sapunjas, and Pitts all on the right side of the football field. And a flag on the play. Sean Daniels, the ball carrier. Peoples makes the tackle after a gain of about 3 or 4.
And what you try to do too, Mike, is give them a lot of looks. So Shante Peoples and Angelo Snipes never really know where it's going to come at them. They're doing a good job of controlling these two outside people.
Matt Clisby out of the game. Anthony Drawhorn checks back in. Get a good look at Shante Peoples. We talked about him earlier. Has gained about 40 yards, gone from a DB to a DE.
He's ate himself into the defensive line. Now you're in a pretty good situation because you got 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. Should be first down, 1st and 5. Scoreboard's wrong.
Down the field, you can see the yard marker. Indeed, 1st down. And working from just outside the 25-yard line in the shotgun, Garcia. And the flag goes off as too much time taken to get that play call.
Mike, you mentioned earlier, not only are they without Doug Flutie, but Tony Stewart. They're fine running backs, so they're...
Time count violation. Calgary number 7. Still 1st down.
That 5 they had there, they lost. Now it's 1st and 10 again. But without Tony Stewart and Doug Flutie, they're getting a lot of good offense in this first half.
Ollie Guano has the puzzled look on his face, and justifiably so, as he's not sure in the future of Flutie. A rib injury to Tony Stewart, the all-time leading rusher at Iowa in his fine, impressive collegiate career as a member of the Hawkeyes.
Very highly recruited player out of New Jersey, Tony Stewart. Chose Iowa. Had a good career.
In his sophomore year. Rushed for over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. And the officiating crew gets things sorted out. We'll go back to 1st and 10, Coach.
What did that mean when he hit his wrist there?
Something on his hand.
See?
From the shotgun, Garcia. Goes inside. And again, it is Vince Danielson on reception number 88. And Jimmy Reed makes the stop. Danielson out of the University of British Columbia and a resident of Vancouver. 15-yard gain.
Tried to pressure him, Mike, there with an outside linebacker. Mike James blitzed, but now they're in man coverage. Jeff Garcia read it right from the start of the play. Vince Danielson was open on the curl route for another 1st down.
Garcia was looking to Sapunjas a lot earlier. Now he's kind of spreading the wealth, using all his wide receivers.
So he'll go back to Sapunjas or Pitts right here.
Under pressure, incomplete. Good pressure applied on the play by Angelo Snipes and Shante Peoples.
Well, we talked about the outside rushers. You've got to control them. And so far, until this play, they've controlled them. Angelo Snipes out of West Georgia College. See how wide they are? The wide alignment by the two outside defensive ends. Just able to knock Bruce Beaton right back into Jeff Garcia for the sack.
Brings up a 2nd and 10. Football spotted on the 15-yard line of Birmingham. Vaughn and Danielson to the near side of the football field. Garcia looks end zone. Alan Pitts not tall enough. Good coverage on the play. 3 defensive backs of Birmingham were draped on big number 18, Alan Pitts.
Andre Strode was right there, number 4. Anthony Drawhorn, number 7, right on Alan Pitts. Alan Pitts going to break down, run the post. Not even close. Good coverage by Birmingham.
Thus the 22-yard field goal attempt by Mark McLaughlin. He was good from 43 to open the contest scoring. McLaughlin's chip shot is up, and it is not surprisingly good again. McLaughlin now 24 of 26 on the year. And it makes the score Calgary 13, Birmingham 6.
Now, there's 2 ways of hanging Christmas lights. There's the traditional way with the hooks, or there's Carl's way. I prefer to use a staple gun. All you got to do is just put a couple quick staples in there.
Is there something in the bedroom you need to talk about? It could be a common condition known as erectile dysfunction. About 40% of men over the age of 40 experience some form of it. Fortunately, a variety of daily and on-demand treatments are available. Talk to your doctor about which treatment is right for you, or visit 40over40.ca to learn more.
People notice yellow stains, so try new Speed Stick Stain Guard with stain defense technology that helps protect you and your shirts. New Speed Stick Stain Guard, smarter than sweat.
Honey, I think it's time for a new car.
What are you thinking?
Something reliable,
Yeah? And fun to drive.
but loaded with tons of features this time.
Well, who has all that?
Right now, all signs point to Suzuki for our Drive It, Love It event. Get 0% financing for 72 months on most 2010 models. They're fun to drive and fully loaded with standard features. Visit your Suzuki dealer today for our biggest event of the year.
Flakes are finished with new CoverGirl Lash Blast Length. The Elastonylon formula flexes without flaking, so women prefer it 4-to-1, and lashes look up to 80% longer. Get new Lash Blast Length from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
Fresh, minty, handsome.
Oh, minty.
Mindy? Beautiful, isn't it?
Breathtaking. Fresh.
For a fresh breath feeling that lasts up to 5 times longer, there's new Scope Outlast.
Up the boards, can't get it out. Sweeney, blast one, score!
We welcome you back to Legion Field here in Birmingham. Mike Goldberg, Mike Godfrey. Calgary leads 13-6. You get a look at number 16, Matt Dunigan. He moved himself up a notch in the record books with a 433-yard performance 1 week ago. The number 2 all-time passer in the Canadian Football League, and for many years he starred as the quarterback of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and also the Toronto Argonauts. He's made a couple of trips to the Grey Cup and has not made a trip to the sideline after an interception in quite some time. 140 consecutive pass attempts since his last interception. Keith Woodside in the backfield. Dunigan moves to the shotgun position. The ball taken at the 35-yard line after the field goal by McLaughlin. Intended receiver Woodside fell to the field, and thus the incompletion.
What you try to do in the run and shoot, and Keith Woodside knows he was going to be open if he just could have avoided the blitz of the outside linebacker, Alondra Johnson. But when you have a situation where they're playing a lot of man coverage, they're going to try to get Keith Woodside lined up versus a linebacker, and that's a mismatch in Birmingham's favor.
2nd and 10. Going over the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, as Kenton Leonard defensively was there on Ted Long.
And just like that, you're punting again. So 2 plays and you're punting the football and your defense is back on the field. That's why I say conditioning is such a big part of the Canadian Football League games.
And keep in mind, up in the northern part of our world, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, temperatures have been very mild. You come down into Birmingham, Alabama, you have the Calgary Stampeders, and you say, whoa, wait a second here. It's a little bit humid. We're not used to this up in the northern parts.
And that's the idea Birmingham wants to do, is wear out the pass rush of the defensive linemen by getting a lot of plays off. They've been unable to do that the first half.
Marvin Coleman and Pee Wee Smith back deep to receive the punt. It's going to be Coleman taking it at the 27-yard line. He retreats a bit and can't get out of any of the traffic. A 48-yard punt off the foot of Scott Player, and virtually a return of a yard or 2. I think the fans in Birmingham were wishing for 2 things. They were hoping to see Doug Flutie, and the coaching staff was also hoping it'd be a little bit hotter and a little bit more humid tonight.
They were concerned about the weather because they thought they'd get an advantage, but you're right, the fans wanted to see number 20 tonight, but they're seeing a good effort by Jeff Garcia.
Yeah, no question about it. Doug Flutie has matched up against Matt Dunigan on frequent occasion, and there have been some spectacular contests.
And a lot of respect for both quarterbacks. They have it for each other.
First and 10, football on the 26-yard line. Stampeders on the offensive again under Jeff Garcia. Garcia gives to Keith Daniels, and Daniels gets a couple of yards. There's a flag on the play. Last week was the 7th meeting between the two great quarterbacks, Matt Dunigan and Doug Flutie, as the holding goes against. And this also includes a Grey Cup, won in 1992 by Flutie and his teammates. 4 wins for each team. Touchdown passes about the same, numbers about the same, and the rushing yards, well, when these two guys get on the football field, coaches don't think about running the football very often.
Matt Dunigan said when he's watching a ball game with Doug Flutie in the game against him, sometimes he'll just drop his helmet and start cheering for Doug Flutie because he has so much respect for him.
Craig Brenner was flagged for the holding on the play, marching Calgary back a bit. Calgary has not been penalized a lot this year. Tonight they've been flagged on 3 occasions that I can think of in the last about 10 minutes of football play. And all meaning that Jeff Garcia working from deep in his own end. Garcia completes the pass to the far side. And in a play like that, Coach, you can see how truly big and wide this CFL field is. You have so much room for which to work in the wings.
You're right, Mike, and there's 2 purposes for that rollout. Number 1 is to bring him a little closer to the wide receiver, to the wide side of the field. And second of all, to move the pocket around. You don't always want your quarterback back 7 yards behind the center. You want to move him around because you got those 2 outside, Shante Peoples and Angelo Snipes, trying to draw a beat on him. So you want to move him around so he's not always at the same place.
Terry Vaughn made the catch for 10 yards, so they cut the penalty off at least. Brings up the 2nd and 10. Garcia to work from the 26-yard line in the shotgun. Garcia over the middle, Sapunches, and he was hit immediately on the play. May have been just short of the first down yardage. Reggie Marable, number 30, made the tackle. David Sapunches. Nope, they're going to say a gain of 11 yards and a first down for Calgary.
So far, I think the game plan of Calgary offensively has had such good mix in it that they've been able to control the rush, but also been able to get the ball spread out to different receivers. They're running the football to try to keep the defense honest. They've kind of controlled the ball game on offense.
9 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The touchdown in the game was from Jeff Garcia. So David Sapunches. Garcia goes to that man again, Sapunches, and he has been the busy receiver thus far. Gets out to the midfield line. Stopped by Anthony Drawhorn there, but another good gain and a first down. A gain of 13 yards on the play.
What made that play again was the mobility of Jeff Garcia. He's sitting back in the pocket and then started to slide out. Here's the inside receiver, David Sapunches, just sitting down again trying to find a hole. But what made the play was Jeff Garcia being able to move around in that pocket to get the defensive people to stop a little bit so David Sapunches could get open.
All at the 50. Sean Daniels gets a good block. A gain of about 4 yards on the play. Sean Brantley there defensively for Birmingham.
Sean Daniels out of Bowling Green, 5'11", 237. Trying to run a draw here against the linebackers. You're going to see both linebackers come right here to try to get some pressure on Jeff Garcia, but they've got the right call here just to give to Sean Daniels. Able to pick up a couple yards, but again, trying to keep the defense honest.
Garcia has hit 8 of his last 10 passes. He goes to the air again, complete to Sapunches inside the 40-yard line. What a target David Sapunches has been, as Drawhorn has to pick up to him again after a gain of 15 yards on the play.
There's some receivers that just have a feel for zone coverage. You see him break down, now just curl, make the catch, pick up a couple more yards, and move the sticks. David Sapunches is not going to beat you with the long pass, but he's going to beat you controlling the football. Alan Pitts will probably beat you with the long pass, or Terry Vaughn.
6th reception of the contest for David Sapunches, 98 yards. He has the lone touchdown.
And Mike, when you're throwing all these short passes, eventually you're going to go deep.
There goes Garcia, but this time it's up for grabs and in and out of the hands of Eddie Davis and Anthony Drawhorn. It's almost like those two guys avoided each other making the interception.
I think Anthony Drawhorn had this interception. He was just sitting back waiting for it. Eddie Davis kind of knocked the ball away from him. But what you always tell the defensive back, go for it at its highest point. You see the mistake, he waited on the ball. Should have moved to the football and tried to make the interception.
Well, last week defensively, Birmingham, knowing that Flutie's arm was hurt, really just tried to take away the short passes. There was that philosophy, hey, Doug, if you can throw the ball and beat us deep with that bad arm, go ahead and try to do it. Garcia is healthy, don't forget, and as you alluded to, Coach, watch for Calgary to set up that long hit to maybe an Alan Pitts here.
Pitts is such a good receiver and such a good target at 6'4", you know they're going to go to him eventually.
They go up top against Sapungis. Touchdown, Calgary.
Catch.
David Sapungis, not Alan Pitts as we thought, but they go long, 40 yards for the touchdown. He works through Eddie Davis and Anthony Drawhorn for his second touchdown reception of the contest.
You know, Mike, they set it up so well because David Sapungis was just running curl routes all evening in the first half. They ran him on a takeoff, and he was able to get behind Eddie Davis, and the concentration that David Sapungis has as a receiver is outstanding. A nice throw by Jeff Garcia. He's hot tonight.
McLaughlin to come and try to make it 20-6. The convert, as they call it in the CFL. It's still a PAT if you ask me, Coach. Flutie handles a bad snap. McLaughlin puts it through the uprights, and it is 20-6 Calgary, due to the great efforts of the quarterback Jeff Garcia and what has turned out to be his favorite receiver tonight, David Sapungis. Garcia finds the end zone again.
As long as we both shall live.
As long as we both shall live.
May I now have the rings?
Look, the guy at the gas station ain't waving to you because he's your friend. Guess what? He's got his hand in your wallet. He makes money on gas. You lose money on gas, okay? So here's something to wipe that smile off his face. Introducing the all-new 2011 Super Duty. Now with 2 all-new Ford-built engines. Gas or diesel, they've got the most horsepower, the most torque, and they've also got the best fuel economy. Hey, who's your friend now? The all-new Super Duty.
Imagine. 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 Imagine.
Lotto 649's next jackpot is $12 million.
Fresh. Fresher. Freshest. Fresher-shist. The new fresh scents from Old Spice.
New Nivea for Men Active 3. The first 3-in-1 shower, shampoo, and shave. Almost everything men need for grooming. Almost. New Active 3, part of the complete Nivea for Men shower line. What men want.
Does your hair color feel as good as it looks? It will with Natural Instincts. It's clinically proven. 80% of women agreed that Natural Instincts made their hair feel softer. Want feel-good color? Get 10-minute Natural Instincts. It's all good.
Presenting this year's Golden Realtor Award, Lead Masters.
Call it the 3-minute warning in the Canadian Football League. 2:49 remaining in the second quarter. Matt Dunigan certainly held in check thus far by the defensive unit of the Calgary Stampeders. Just 6 of 14, 70 yards after throwing for 433 yards against this very same defensive unit last week.
Mike, the big key is only 17 plays on offense for Birmingham tonight and only 3 rushing attempts. Now, that's not bad, but there's not any screens in this offense in the first half. I know John Jenkins would like to throw some screen passes to try to slow down this rush of Calgary.
Yeah, Keith Woodside coming in had carried the ball only 23 times, but had 30 receptions, and I don't think he's got the football out of the backfield yet. Let's see if they go that way now. Dunigan, no, he wants to go for the big yards, does over the middle. Completion made to Matt Cody. Jordan and his teammates make the stop after a gain of 21 yards by Matt Cody.
Again, Matt Dunigan, the strength of his arm, he's able to roll to the left and throw the curl to Matt Cody back against the grain to the right side for a big gain.
Cody, the rookie, out of Memphis. Released at the end of last year by Winnipeg. Had a good game last week. 93 yards reception and a touchdown. Now 1st and 10 again. Dunigan rolls away from the pressure. He'll stay on his feet. Sliding in for a first down.
Well, you always, as a coach, you want him to get out of bounds. Matt Dunigan decided to stay in bounds and get down.
McClanahan had the pressure on him. A 12-yard gain, and the clock will stop after the gaining of the first down yardage while they adjust the chains. Dunigan from the shotgun. Football spotted at the 42. Lots of time for Matt Dunigan. Incomplete. Underthrew his intended receiver. Marcus Grant, number 81, out of Houston.
They brought the safety, DeAndre Owens, number 14, to try to pressure Matt Dunigan a little bit. The one thing you see different in this game plan tonight by Calgary is a lot of different blitzes, a lot of different stunts. Here's Marcus Grant, number 81, just not able to bring in the football.
2nd and 10 now for Dunigan. Set up again in the pocket, knocked down in front. The defensive play made by big number 96, Shreko Zizakovic.
Again, a change up on defense by Frank Spaziani with another good call. Here's the pressure again. Ball deflected at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Marcus Grant was going to be open down the field. He just didn't have time to get him the football.
The safety Greg Knox was in the seat of Matt Dunigan as the safety blitz was on, and that will bring up a punting situation for Birmingham on a drive that you said was very important as they work their way to the locker room.
Birmingham is just not able to try to draw a bead on what Calgary's doing on defense, and halftime adjustments are going to be a very big key.
Player just gets the kickoff, and there's the roughing the kicker indication flag on the play. The return will probably not matter, because I have a feeling Birmingham's going to keep the football.
Well, I believe that's Mark Pierce that went in on the punt, and he didn't go in to block the punt. That's the first mistake he made. Second thing is you always try to take the ball off the punter's foot, and he's too high on this thing, and he just runs into Scott Player. Let's see if it is Mark Pierce, number 95. There's the kick. But you see his hands are not down. He's got his hands way up in the air, and then he hits the foot. It is Mark Pierce. He did not come in with the right technique to take the ball off the kicker's foot. And you talk about a big break now. Circle this one for Birmingham. Jack Pardee.
Yeah, Jack Pardee a bit frustrated to see his offense being stifled. They'll get a chance to work it with plenty of time on the clock, Coach. 1:55 remaining in the half. 20-6 Calgary with the lead. Football spotted on the 32-yard line of the Stampeders. Dunigan checks off, completes the pass to Ted Long.
Mike, here's where the big end zones help too. If you notice, the end zones in the Canadian Football League, they're a lot bigger than the end zones in the National Football League or college football over here. And the advantage when you get inside the 30-yard line is that you've got a lot of room to throw the football. It's Frank Spaziani with a towel around him. He used to be at the University of Virginia with George Welsh. He's had an excellent game plan here in the first half. Probably upset with Mark Pierce on that punt. John Jenkins trying to match him on the other sideline.
Gain of 3 on the last play. 2nd and 7. Dunigan trying to improvise. Rolls one way, cuts back the other. Reception made by Keith Woodside, and he gets the first down yardage.
Oh, it's a nice call by John Jenkins. Brought Keith Woodside around like it was going to be that shovel draw again. You're going to watch this play. Matt Dunigan's going to get the snap. Now here comes Woodside around. Now he rolls to the left. Now it's back to Keith Woodside. A lot of misdirection in there. The ball to Keith Woodside, and then good yardage after the catch to keep this drive alive.
Marvin Pope finally caught up to him, but not until the first down yardage and a gain of 10. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Dunigan over the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 86, Ted Long. McClanahan on the coverage along with Andre Owens.
Well, it's a big play for Birmingham right here with 1:16 on the clock. They need a score.
Second and 10 from the 19-yard line. Dunigan handles the bad snap, goes over the middle, incomplete. Intended receiver was number 81, Marcus Grant, but the pass was well short.
They're going to take the 3 points here. They're going to try the field goal. Lewis and Dales.
I'll tell you what, Dunigan has run up some numbers this football season. He put up some points on the board, and this is not a very typical Birmingham offensive performance.
No, it's not, but credit Calgary and their defensive plan, because I think they have him a little bit confused here in the first half. the advantage again, like we talked about earlier. When you play a team a week ago and you lose, you make some more adjustments than the team that wins.
Zendejas to attempt the 28-yarder. He's 2 for 2 on the night. Zendejas is kicked. The driver is up, and now he is 3 for 3. 20-9 our score. You know, you've credited the Calgary defense, and the one thing that has been overshadowed the last couple of years since the arrival of Doug Flutie up in Calgary is the fact that you do it on both sides of the football. And you look at guys like Alondra Johnson and Marvin Pope, just to mention a few, and you've had a good defensive unit for the Stampeders for quite some years.
Well, consistency is what you want. You want a team that can play on both sides of the ball. Even with the great Doug Flutie, you still got to be able to stop people. And Frank Spaziani the last couple of years has put a good, strong defensive plan in here with Calgary. He would have liked that they got into that clubhouse without that 3-point zone. That field, again, that roughing the kicker on that punt will be something they'll talk about at halftime also.
Garcia with still plenty of time for which to work. 1 minute and 5 seconds. Not surprisingly, he takes the easy one over the middle to David Sapunjas. You know, you continue the talk of the defense of the Calgary Stampeders. In the first 7 games, they had allowed just 132 points, Coach. 18 points a game their opponents had scored on them, and that's not a lot of points in CFL style.
No, especially when you look at the rules the way they really are for the offense. And just like in this last 3 minutes that we've had, this is an eternity of time on offense and against the defense. So you've got to play pretty good defense to shut people down in this league.
Offense the focus right now for Garcia. Number 1 in the league coming in, averaging 37 points per game under Flutie, and Garcia just as impressive thus far. 15 of 22, 266 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and no interceptions.
I think the key is the last one there, Mike. When you go bring a quarterback in for the first time in his first game where he's the starter, and he has not made many mistakes tonight, and he has not thrown an interception.
He brought his team back from a 10-point deficit last week at Fan Stadium before the heroics performed by Matt Dunigan. Throws behind Alan Pitts. He's able to adjust and make the reception.
They spread you out so much on this field that you get some one-on-one situations, and there Alan Pitts was able to use his 6'4" frame to block out the defensive back and make that catch in the curl and keep the chains moving.
Pitts just a couple of receptions here in the first half. We should note he came in 88 yards shy of becoming the all-time leading receiver in Calgary history. So we'll look for that potentially to happen in the second half for number 18, Alan Pitts.
I'd say it's a good bet. He'll break that tonight.
Well, he's working on it with that reception. Gain of about 15 on the play. Eddie Davis makes the stop on Pitts.
Alan Pitts, number 18, is going to run a post route now. He just ran a curl. Little move inside. Now against Eddie Davis, who's 5'10", so you got a 6'4" receiver going against the 5'10" Eddie Davis. One-on-one. The favorite is Alan Pitts.
He's got 50 of the 88 thus far. The top receiver in the CFL. Receptions now in 79 straight games. Sapunjas on one knee, makes the catch. And he gets about 8 yards on the first down play. Mike James with the defensive play.
Very patient drive by Calgary. John Huffnagel with the play sheet, making the calls, but it's a very patient drive with 20 seconds on the clock. They're going to try to get points on here. Maybe try to go to the end zone once or twice here before trying to settle for a field goal.
2nd and 2, first on the Mines. And gaining the first down yardage was Sean Daniels. Mike James again makes the stop. James out of Mississippi State. Daniels, as Coach mentioned earlier, in his 7th CFL season out of Bowling Green.
Played for the Falcons. Probably got one shot here, maybe 2 at the most, Mike, to try to get Pitts down the field, or Terry Vaughn to try to get him in the end zone one time.
Clock running. Garcia looks towards the end zone, but not far enough. Sapunjas, did he get the timeout called before the end of play? We'll find out.
Well, the scoreboard clock shows no time.
And that is indeed the call. Sapunjas made the reception at the 15, had to go to the secondary receiver. And Wally Buono's team dodges a bullet late, as Birmingham able to just come away with the field goal. And Calgary leads after one half of play, 20-9. Don't forget, we check in with the Sports Smash and Reese Davis after this. Jeff Garcia, impressive in the first half.
might have been named 2010's top vehicle in its category, if it had a category. Discover the Can-Am Spyder Roadster. Its three-wheeled stance is unlike anything else on the road. See what thousands of riders already know at canam.brp.com. It's riding reinvented.
In my life, people expect only the best performance, even under extreme conditions. And so do I. Castrol H, it's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
With every Castrol synthetic oil purchase, you'll receive a limited edition Castrol FIFA World Cup hat, and you'll get your chance to win a world-class VIP soccer experience for you and 9 friends. Visit changeyourOilChangeYourLife.com for details.
It's not where you've been. It's where your armpits smell like you've been. Old Spice Matterhorn. One of 4 triumphantly fresh new scents from Old Spice.
Return moisture to your face with Gillette's Fusion Regimen. Proven to lubricate during shaving and hydrate after. Gillette's Fusion Regimen. Clinically tested to hydrate your skin.
Be wary of a woman who only shows up when you are winning. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Now, the good quarterback thus far has certainly been Jeff Garcia. Impressive numbers, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dunigan just 12 of 26 for 128 yards.
Birmingham's got to try to force Jeff Garcia into an interception. They've got to try to change this game a little bit.
Goes to Sapunchis for his 11th catch of the contest, and Jimmy Reed is there to make the stop. Well, you can't talk enough about what David Sapunchis has done. He was the top Canadian in the Grey Cup in 1992 in Calgary's win over Winnipeg at the Sky Dome. He led the CFL, as I mentioned, in 93 with 103 receptions, almost 1,500 yards. Last year, he broke his collarbone in September, missed 6 weeks of the season, came back and broke it again. His first injuries as a professional football player in his 6th year out of Western Ontario.
Mike, just so steady and so smart as a receiver. You just like those kind of guys when you're coaching, to have them on the field for you, because you know they're going to find a way to win for you.
And find a way to garner the yardage for a first down.
Then we'll keep Alan Pitts in mind. He's trying to break that record tonight, and you just know he's due for a big play. They're going to set him up with Sapunchis. Eventually, Alan Pitts is going to get the big catch.
The record is held, as we talk right now, by Tom Forzani. Long-time Stampeder offensive star. They give to Sean Daniels. He goes over the right side of the line. Mark Ledbetter meets him after a gain of 3.
Again, not what you'd want to try to run the football. You want to get down to 2nd and 4, and they're 2nd and 7, but a call to the defense that we are going to run some traps. We're going to run the ball. We're going to keep you honest on your pass rush. More important tonight for them to keep that defense honest.
Calgary has been an excellent 4th quarter team this football season. I'll tell you about that as time continues. Garcia goes to the man who has been the most frequently named player in tonight's contest, Sapunchis. He lost the football, though. Let's see if they'll call it a turnover.
I don't know if he ever had this ball, though. He was stretched out. Jimmy Reed, number 39 on coverage, may have pulled it away. They're going to give him the catch. Wow.
Steve Anderson, the player down on the field. You take a look at Sapunchis make the catch.
He's got the football. Now he's reaching out for the first down. I think it's a good call. He reached out for the first down. He was down again. Another smart play by David Sapunchis. Jimmy Reed late pulled it out, and a good call by the officials. Well, what a, again, smart heads-up play. Able to reach out and try to pick up that first down. Because they would not have had the first down, Mike. There's no way that he had the first down until he stretched it out, and I think they're still a little bit short.
Just a bit, bring up a 3rd and 1, and they'll try to use that 1-yard cushion as we spoke of earlier. Yep. Now Calgary has run the football on a dozen occasions and put it in the air 30 times, and that's about right. I don't think Wally Buono has really changed his offensive game plan much, and as we've seen, Jeff Garcia has the ability to scramble. Obviously, he's no Doug Flutie. As a matter of fact, nobody in the Canadian Football League is, but still they've run the same kind of offense, and they've gone to reliable guys like David Sapunjas.
Good mix of their play call, and those 12 runs have kept that defense honest, and I would think on this quarterback sneak, Jeff Garcia may want to stay inside a little bit more. Last time he got away with going outside and outside the offensive guard, but I think I'd stay inside if I was Jeff on this one.
This Calgary offense trying to push their lead up from the present 11 points at 20-9. Sean Daniels in the backfield. On the sneak, second effort will get the first down for the ball carrier, the quarterback Jeff Garcia, met by Angelo Snipes.
Someone, whether it was Angelo Snipes or Mark Ledbetter, got a little penetration there, which you don't want to see on a quarterback sneak, and made the hit. Let's see the penetration here to Jeff Garcia. Maybe he fumbled the snap, but it's Angelo Snipes, but the second effort by Jeff Garcia created the first down.
Garcia went right over Jay McNeil, number 50 out of Kent State, the rookie offensive lineman.
You try to tell a quarterback when a quarterback sneak, stay slow or stay as low as you can and keep your shoulders parallel and get that first down.
From the 47 now, Garcia on 1st and 10. Scampers up through the pocket, has a blocker. Now he'll work to the outside by himself, and he is hit inside Birmingham territory by Tommy Orr. A gain of 17 yards on the keeper by the quarterback, Jeff Garcia.
Mike, what else would you ask of your quarterback tonight? He's run the ball, he's made decisions, drops back here, knows that no one's open, he's going to tuck the ball away, and now he becomes a pretty good running back. Tommy Orr makes the tackle, but I have not seen Jeff Garcia make a mistake tonight.
What's the rest
He's
of the
played
league
air
saying?
free.
Yeah, what's the rest of the league saying? Thinking maybe they would get a break with Flutie out of the lineup, and they're sitting at home, those not playing tonight, watching Jeff Garcia look equally as impressive. He gives the football to Daniels. Daniels goes through the middle, big hole, and near a first down. Tommy Orr there again, gain of 10 yards on the play, and it looks like another first down for the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, John Huffnagel really has to feel good about his game plan tonight. He has protected Jeff Garcia. Sean Daniels has picked up for Tony Stewart. The offensive line is performing well. Sapunjas, Alan Pitts, Pee Wee Smith on the outside, Terry Vaughn. Everybody is picking up. When you lose a great player, everybody else has to pick the game up a little bit, and that's what's happening with Calgary.
The offensive line doing their share of the yeoman's work. Denny Chronopoulos with a great block, springing up that 9-yard gain and setting up the 2nd and 1. And on the keeper again, Garcia trying to gain Calgary another first down. Jimmy Reed, Sean Brantley there to stop Garcia on the keeper. It makes it a bit easier to be on the sidelines injured when your team's playing well.
Yeah, and you're a part of that because you're coaching, you're help coaching Jeff Garcia when he comes off the field. Doug Flutie staying in the ball game, sees the plays called by John Huffnagel, so he can help Jeff Garcia when he comes to the sideline.
Glenn Williams, the man you saw on the sidelines with the clipboard, the former Northwestern quarterback who played last year with the Posse of Las Vegas. Team since disbanded. So 1st and 10, football on the 35-yard line. Garcia under center. Steps up in the pocket again. He is met from behind, this time by Sean Brantley.
Late flag coming in also.
A loss of 5 on the play.
Penalty on the field appears to be against.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 50, 2nd down.
It's on Jay McNeil, who's sitting in for Rocco Romano, who was hurt early in the game, did not start the game. Jay McNeil's moved into that spot, and he's called for that foul.
Rocco Romano suffering from back spasms. And not in the lineup, so some offensive line changes on both teams, and nothing less, it sets them back 15 yards, 2nd and 25. After the loss of 5 and a 10-yard penalty, they go to Terry Vaughn. Vaughn goes up the sideline and tries to get at least some of the penalty yardage back as Jimmy Reed forced him out of bounds.
Terry Vaughn ran that screen the way you want to run it. He was able to come back, and then he set up the block from Vince Danielson, number 88, who made the key block. And then what you want on that play, you just want to get back to the sticks where you're 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12 right in there.
McLaughlin to come in and attempt a long field goal attempt.
He can't miss a second one, right?
No.
I mean, he's near perfect coming into this thing, so you wouldn't figure he'll miss another one.
And he has made them from long distance this year. Coming into tonight, he was 3 for 3 from 40 to 49 yards, 3 for 4 from 50 plus. This one's from 45. The kick is up, and as you mentioned, Coach, he would not miss again.
Well, he's
Mark
like
McLaughlin
automatic.
makes it 23-9. Calgary in the lead with 2:39 remaining in the 3rd.
Flakes are finished with new CoverGirl Lash Blast Length. The Elasti-Nylon formula flexes without flaking, so women prefer it 4 to 1, and lashes look up to 80% longer. Get new Lash Blast Length from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
Rule number 93, seeing is believing. Visit Budweiser on Facebook for your chance to be at Bud Camp. Must be 19 or older, no purchase necessary.
Does your hair color feel as good as it looks? It will with Natural Instincts. It's clinically proven. 80% of women agreed that Natural Instincts made their hair feel softer. Want feel-good color? Get 10-minute Natural Instincts. It's all good.
This is how you relax after the week you had?
Why are you in my yard?
I'm helping you see the lights. You need some fun. Here, I packed your skimpies. Come on, I got affordable hotels everywhere. Want to ride a horsey?
Okay.
Ooh, or race car driving.
Sure.
Man, there's all sorts of super destinations. You just gotta go. I got low rates. Ready for some summer fun? Visit WyndhamRewards.com for your chance to win some awesome prizes.
Fresh. Fresher. Freshest. Freshershist. The new fresh scents from Old Spice.
I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe everything. Maybe nothing. But I'll know when I find it. You know when it's the one. Dolce & Gabbana. The one.
Flutie was nice enough to join us in the open of tonight's game. We saw Dr. Frank Jobe on the West Coast yesterday, has a slight tear in the elbow of his throwing hand. And it might be 4 to 6 weeks. He might require surgery at the end of the season. Right now, it's pretty tight-lipped exactly what will happen. And I'm not so sure that Doug Flutie knows exactly what's going on right now with his bad arm. Mark McLaughlin, the short kick, taken by Cody. He has trouble handling it, finally picks up the football, jumps over a defender, and now has room to run. Works to the outside of the field, still on his feet, and into the territory. Eddie Britton on the return of 34 yards. Raymond Biggs finally caught up to him.
Matt Cody with a good return. He's going to get a good block by Eddie Britton, number 1. First of all, when the ball bounces a little bit, sometimes you outrun the coverage a little bit. Matt Cody sets up his offense in pretty good field position now. This is it now. I mean, Birmingham has to get something moving here offensively.
As stale as they have been, though, Coach, you look at the scoreboard, it's 23-9. It's a 14-point deficit.
You're right, and Matt Dunigan is not going to be poor the whole night. I mean, he's not. It's been a combination of some drop balls, some good coverage, but there's a screen.
And this defense of Calgary, as I mentioned earlier, frustrated Dunigan and his teammates in the fourth quarter up until that drive last week. Eddie Britton makes the reception. And Marvin Pope the stop. They were a -2 yards in the fourth quarter before that game-winning drive that resulted in 6 straight completions to 5 different receivers engineered by Matt Dunigan.
Well, John Jenkins called a screen play, as you see Frank Spaziani on the other side, defensive coordinator now, but they're going to try to use the screen a little bit like teams use the run. That's their running play.
Movement on the line. Number 62, Freddie Childress, jumped before the play.
Just look like they're out of sync. Again, they played a week ago, and they beat Calgary at their home field. And
procedure, Brimingham, number 62, still second down.
But they should have enough respect to the players for Calgary. They know they're going to come in here and try to get a win in their home stadium. So, but I think Matt Dunigan's got to perform here, and he will perform.
Well, there's confusion again, way before anything happened.
Well, the receivers
Jason Phillips jumped all the way into the backfield of Calgary. Already, instead of a 2nd and 1, we're in a 2nd and 6 situation. You know, Jack Parkey was very, very volatile about his preparation this week, though, and telling his guys that prepare for Doug Flutie. Don't think we're going to have an easy time of it because Flutie might not play. Prepare for Doug Flutie and have the mindset that you're playing the best team in the Canadian Football League.
You can tell them that all you want to, but when they see that Doug Flutie's not going to play, that's a little bit of a downer. And but you talk about an expansion team here. They should be ready to play every week.
And they have an opportunity to be at least at the halfway point, tied with Baltimore. Now, Baltimore went to 7-3 tonight, and Birmingham, if they pull out a victory, would go to 6-3. So they would at least go through the first half of the season both at 6-3. Dunigan, too high, but it goes off one receiver's hands and into another. On the reception was Jason Phillips. The football bounced off the hands of number 86.
Ted Long, number 86, with a kind of a helping hand to Jason Phillips. And that may be the type of play that ignites this offense. Matt Dunigan with a high throw to Ted Long, number 86, just a little bit off his hands. Jason Phillips again with good concentration to make the catch.
And a gain of 17. Now they're looking towards Marcus Grant, throwing into double coverage and incomplete.
Greg Knox, number 8, the safety, has had a whale of a game in that secondary for Calgary. Been in the right spot. He's getting the signals from Frank Spaziani, giving the signals to his secondary, lining up different places, trying to confuse Matt Dunigan, and so far has been successful.
2nd and 10 now. Football on the 33-yard line of Calgary. Dunigan tries the same play, and this time the receiver slips and falls. Matt Cody. He tried to spring it loose with the fake again, but Will Johnson was right in the face of Matt Dunigan, and Dunigan may have had to readjust his throw a bit.
The Bluebirds are out. Yes, how fast they forget. 7 days.
What have you done for me lately? And they weathered some rain. The skies are clear again. And a beautiful night here in Birmingham, Alabama. Mike Goldberg, Mike Godfrey. Final seconds ticking away. 45 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, and a 42-yard field goal attempt on the way by Luis Sendejas. Sendejas has been perfect this evening. Another driving kick is up and good, so all the scoring from Birmingham has come off the foot of Luis Sendejas. 4 field goals, and once again, the lead is 11 for the Stampeders.
Flakes are finished with new CoverGirl Lash Blast Length. The Elastonylon formula flexes without flaking, so women prefer it 4-to-1, and lashes look up to 80% longer. Get new Lash Blast Length from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
Number 1 dad lost his number 1 status when he forgot to make the morning coffee. So, world's best mom was more than happy to make a cup of delicious Starbucks Via. She got to the office just in time to save Best Friend Forever from the office coffee. Best Friend Forever bravely shared Starbucks Via with Don't Talk to Me Until My Second Cup, before he even had his first. He shared it with I Hate Mondays, who had 3 cups because it was, after all, Monday. Premium Starbucks Via Ready Brew. Never be without great coffee. Available at your local Starbucks.
Luminato, one of the largest and most creative arts festivals in the world, returns to Toronto. Imagine a world of theater, music, literature, visual arts, magic, dance, and more from Canada and around the world. And spectacular concerts are just part of over 100 free events for you to experience.
Walk right through that door.
Luminato, June 11th to 20th. Imagine everything. Get your tickets today. Visit Luminato.com.
Prohibitionists wanted to run George Sleeman out of town.
But George Sleeman ran for mayor and ran them out of town. 5 generations of infamous brewing heritage. Sleeman, notoriously good since 1834.
Does your hair color feel as good as it looks? It will with Natural Instincts. It's clinically proven. 80% of women agreed that Natural Instincts made their hair feel softer. Want feel-good color? Get 10-minute Natural Instincts. It's all good.
Garcia from the shotgun in the 39-yard line on a 2nd and 13. He goes up top, and it is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Vince Danielson, as the hit was applied by Timmy Oates.
That might have been the first mistake that Jeff Garcia had tonight, because he led the receiver into Tommy Oates, number 23. A badly thrown ball here. Bad decision. Here's the throw. Vince Danielson led right into Tommy Oates for the kill shot.
That is the first incomplete pass thrown by Jeff Garcia in this second half. Tony Martino on to punt for just the 3rd time. Pretty consistent at 42 and a half, a 41 and a 43-yard punt thus far. Pardon me, 42 and 43. Martino. This kick will bounce in front of Eddie Britton. Britton plays it. They give him the 5 yards, and now Britton will try to take advantage. Scampering towards the outside. Now he has to slow down his progress, and he's hit by a sea of white jerseys. A 42-yard punt and an 8-yard return for Eddie Britton.
Matt Dunigan looking to the clock. He knows he's at 14:08. 14 completions, 30 attempts, 153 yards, but has not been able to get his team in the end zone.
He had 4 2-and-outs last week with that -2 yards before the game winner. Jeff Garcia was the counterpart at quarterback, and in the 4th quarter had rallied Calgary from a 10-point deficit. Speak of Calgary's defense, though, and really their offense in that same breath. The Calgary Stampeders football team has been dominant this year in the 4th quarter. They have outscored their opponents 81-15.
I got a feeling, Mike, they're going to get a challenge here in the 4th quarter. Matt Dunigan's too good to play and not get his team in the end zone. And when you look at it, as poorly as they played, they're only down by 11 with 14:02 on the clock. So I think Matt Dunigan's going to get hot here and get this ball club moving.
Dunigan starts it off the right way. They go to the man you thought they should have been going to a long time ago. The running back, Keith Woodside.
Well, he's against the linebacker. Now, Greg Knox made the tackle there, but you still pick up 5 yards. Keith Woodside's the super back for him. Out of the backfield, you're going to see Greg Knox, number 8. He has to pick up Keith Woodside, and it's a good tackle. Greg Knox has played an excellent football game tonight.
Now Dunigan trying to go up top, has the receiver with a step on him, but the football caught out of bounds by Marcus Grant.
Good pressure again on Matt Dunigan. Alondra Johnson. Good pressure. Kept that ball from being thrown on the mark.
Marvin Coleman was on the coverage.
Matt Dunigan off the shotgun. Alondra Johnson, number 51, beats Tom Ram, the left tackle, number 55. Caused that ball to be thrown out of bounds.
And another punting situation. Marvin Coleman back deep to receive. Scott Player, plenty of time, gets away a high kick. Fielded at the 27-yard line by Coleman. Coleman not a lot of room to which to work, but he gets around the sideline and stays in bounds anyway. Now beats Player, and Coleman's off to the races. Nobody will catch Marvin Coleman, who returns the punt for the touchdown for Calgary.
If this was college football, he'd be flagged right now for that new celebration rule. Marvin Coleman with a nice run.
He did not have much room for which to work on the far side of the field.
It looked like that the Birmingham players thought maybe he was out of bounds, and some of them gave up a little bit on the coverage.
An 82-yard punt return for touchdown for Marvin Coleman. And the Boo Birds won't even boo right now. They're astonished by what has happened to their football team after such a great victory 1 week ago.
Well, that was an excellent return, Mike, by Marvin Coleman, but I think a lot of players stopped on that play for Birmingham. They thought he was out of bounds.
Interesting to note, Coleman just had the cast removed from his hand and reassumed his kicking duties tonight for the first time in 5 weeks. And the effect is felt immediately by Calgary and Birmingham. Calgary in the positive way, Birmingham negatively.
Calgary's short a guy on their extra point team, so they'll have to take the penalty.
Number 1, baby. Number 1.
Coming on the field.
Laundra Johnson saying Marvin Coleman, the best player, not in this league, but in any league, which would include this league, I suppose.
Be a nice agent someday.
You got that right. Coleman last year set a club record with 181 yards in punt return, gaining against the BC Lions. A 4.40 runner, and he showed his speed there. So McLaughlin moves it back a couple of yards, but still is good on the convert to make the score. Calgary leading in a much more dominant fashion, 30-12. Coleman returns it 82 yards.
When your head is pounding, one Advil is often enough for fast relief of tough headaches, including migraines.
What's the difference between eHarmony and dating sites? At eHarmony, we get to know you. Then our scientifically proven system matches you with people on deep, meaningful levels. And we're letting you try it free for 10 days. Announcing eHarmony's biggest free communication event ever. 10 days to connect with your compatible matches with our guided communication. It's eHarmony's biggest free communication event ever, May 21st through the 30th. See the difference compatibility makes. Visit eHarmony.ca today.
Fresh, fresher, freshest, fresher-shist. The new fresh scents from Old Spice.
Fly to a Subway restaurant for the new Orchard Chicken Salad Sandwich with a mix of chicken, crispy apples, sweet raisins, and plump cranberries. Just $4.49. Subway, think fresh, eat fresh.
Some suckers think my Night Elf Mohawk is a hoax, like jackalopes or the moon landing. Well, it ain't. So I'm hunting them down with my latest invention, the Mohawk Grenade. Yeah, wherever I go, I'm making Warcraft look good. So don't give me no back talk. Try World of Warcraft free at warcraft.com.
Find a Night Elf Mohawk in-game and claim your Mohawk grenades.
Rated T for Teen. I'm Mr. T and I'm a Night Elf Mohawk. What's your game?
Boss Bottled, fragrance for men.
Now that guy Marvin Coleman pleased with his efforts. If you missed it, he had an 82-yard punt return for touchdown. But his teammates are not so impressed.
No, they nicknamed him Ice. They just threw some at him.
And on the other side, disappointing night for the Barracudas of Birmingham thus far with 8:40 remaining. That was a big situation there. 15-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Had a 2nd and 5, came away empty, went for it on 3rd down, and once again, Dunigan unable to complete the pass to Eddie Britton, so Calgary takes over, and their quarterback, Jeff Garcia. Garcia not afraid to go up top right away, trying to run the football down, and hauling it in was Pee Wee Smith, number 86. What a reception by Pee Wee Smith. He caught up to the football, outran Anthony Drawhorn.
Former Miami, Florida receiver Pee Wee Smith using that speed to catch up with that football. Well thrown ball by Jeff Garcia again against Tommy Oates and Anthony Drawhorn. 2 defensive backs, but that ball was thrown on the mark again. Jeff Garcia has had a great night, Mike. I tell you, he has performed, I'm sure, beyond the expectations even of his coaches.
44-yard gain on the play. Football now spotted at the 50-yard line of the Barracudas. Sean Daniels gets Makes a good block, goes over the right side, still on his feet, and pulls his way into the 33-yard line. Eddie Davis finally hauled him down. 17-yard gain on the carry by Daniels.
My most valuable player tonight would be John Huffnagel and Frank Spaziani, the two coordinators, because they've had two very good game plans. Because Birmingham is a very well-coached football team. As you see John Huffnagel right there. And I just think that two excellent game plans. And when you take out Tony Stewart, your running back, Doug Flutie, your quarterback, and then defensively, you're up against what is a great offensive team. Just two great performances.
Again, working off that big offensive line. Angelo Snipes hauls down Sean Daniels from behind. Guys like Jay McNeil, Jamie Crysdale, Bobby Pandelitis. The offensive line of Calgary deserves their share of the credit, too.
They really do. I mean, they've been able to keep the pressure off of Jeff Garcia. They've been able to run the football. They've been able to have their way tonight. But again, and I go back to what I said earlier, the motivation and incentive is totally on the favor of Calgary. When you're coming back from a weak loss, when you play the same ball club, the advantage is yours.
Garcia shows the football, now throws it the way of David Sapungis, and he is brought down at the 10-yard line by Anthony Drawhorn. Sapungis with over a dozen receptions, good blocks again by Chronopoulos and Bobby Pandelitis, enabling the time for Jeff Garcia to find the sponge.
David Sapungis just has good hands. He's able to go out and catch the football. See, he doesn't wait for the ball. He's able to take his hands out, grab it, and bring it back in. He's an excellent receiver.
And what numbers tonight for David Sapungis? Career high 13 receptions, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Daniels up to the 6.
This drive is burning a lot of clock time also for Calgary.
And this could make the score 37-12. And then I think you can turn the lights down on the Birmingham Barracudas. 5 minutes, 35 seconds, the clock ticking down here at Legion Field. First half of the season, for all intents and purposes, coming to an end tonight.
Offsides on Birmingham, so it'll be 1st now and 5.
First and goal situation set up at the 5-yard line. They're actually going to spot it right outside the 5, so they could gain the 1st down, Coach.
Just barely.
Yep. But I think they're thinking end zone. They give to Daniels, and he is hit right away. Met by Shante Peoples and Angelo Snipes. Shante enjoyed the partaking in Ann Arbor, at least this afternoon.
As the college football season began. Tomorrow, Ohio State and Boston College. Who you like in that ball game?
I'm an Ohio native, so I got to go with John Cooper and the Buckeyes.
I think the Buckeyes will be okay tomorrow. Be a tough ball game. Boston College got some pretty good players, but they lost Boyd and Mamula, 2 good defensive players. So I think defensively they will not be the tough defense they were last year.
2nd and 5 towards the end zone. Touchdown, Daniels. Calgary gets the touchdown. An impressive drive capped off by the block by Pandelitis and the 5-yard run by Sean Daniels out of Bowling Green.
Well, with the score the way it is now, maybe we can pick up our high-priced sideline reporter here pretty soon and get a chance to visit with him
and see if he could sideline reporter in television history.
Well, I tell you what, there's another guy. Dr. Jerry Punch makes a lot of money, but Jeff Garcia has really had a great night. We'd like to see what Doug thinks a little bit about his performance tonight. With rushing yardage, Calgary just 95 yards. Birmingham just 15 yards tonight.
And for the point after, Mark McLaughlin to make it 37-12 Stampeders. And the streak continues of consecutive converts for McLaughlin. When we come back, our sideline reporter to be introduced. 4:12 remaining in the contest.
It's not where you've been. It's where your armpits smell like you've been. Old Spice Matterhorn. One of 4 triumphantly fresh new scents from Old Spice.
gas station ain't waving to you because he's your friend. Guess what? He's got his hand in your wallet. He makes money on gas. You lose money on gas, okay? So here's something to wipe that smile off his face. Introducing the all-new 2011 Super Duty. Now with 2 all-new Ford-built engines. Gas or diesel, they've got the most horsepower, the most torque, and they've also got the best fuel economy. Hey, who's your friend now? The all-new Super Duty.
Some smack-talking fool's been saying Mr. T can't change the world of Warcraft. He ain't no computer hacker. Well, answer me this, suckers. How do you explain the Mohawk grenade? Yeah, wherever I go, I'm making Warcraft look good. So don't give me no back talk. Try World of Warcraft free at warcraft.com.
Find a Night Elf Mohawk in World of Warcraft and claim your Mohawk grenades.
Rated T for teen. I'm Mr. T and I'm a Night Elf Mohawk. What's your game?
Number 1 dad lost his number 1 status when he forgot to make the morning coffee. So, world's best mom was more than happy to make a cup of delicious Starbucks Via. She got to the office just in time to save best friend forever from the office coffee. Best friend forever bravely shared Starbucks Via with "Don't talk to me until my second cup," before he even had his first. He shared it with "I hate Mondays," who had 3 cups because it was, after all, Monday. Premium Starbucks Via Ready Brew. Never be without great coffee. Available at your local Starbucks.
Mike Goldberg, Mike Gottfried here at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. The Calgary Stampeders in control, 37-12, and Doug Flutie down on the sidelines. Doug, we just said you're the highest paid sideline reporter in television history.
Hey, I feel like a kicker. I go out on kicking game, and that's it, come over. I know what the punter and the kicker feel like now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jeff Garcia could not be more impressive this evening.
Jeff's had a great night. We did a lot of things scheme-wise that gave him a little bit of problems, given our formations into the boundary. And Jeff's just executed beautifully. He hit the Pee-wee on a beautiful post route for a big, big play, getting us out of our own end there.
Doug, I think it's an excellent game plan by John Huffnagel because he was able to take the pressure off Jeff Garcia early with some play actions and some good double teams on snipes, so he really gave him a chance to perform well early.
We've run the ball better tonight than we have all year, and I think everybody picked it up a step and knew we had to at least have the threat of a run, do some play action, and then Jeffy letting it fly.
You know, in all fairness, Doug, since your arrival in Calgary, you've done so well offensively that sometimes the defense has been overshadowed, but we saw tonight what Calgary defensive play is all about.
No question about it. They've shut Matt down so far. He still may end up with some decent stats and a couple of touchdowns before it's over, the way he plays. But, yeah, they do an excellent job every week.
Doug, that defensive unit with Marvin Pope and Alondra Johnson, I mean, to go through what they did last week, to have Dunigan with the great heroics at the end of the game, that's something that the defense takes personally, and they came out with a vengeance tonight, didn't they?
They really do. They do take a lot of pride in things like that. They don't want teams to score on them. They don't want the extra yardage. Even at the end of the game here, they're excited about shutting them down. Last week was a little embarrassing to them as far as total yards and all that. And they stepped it back up. there's no better linebacker pair than Marvin and AJ.
Doug, BC, Ohio State tomorrow. Now don't give me that. Don't give me that city line there now about Boston College. But just tell me what your thoughts on that game.
I'm just rooting like heck for them, and I don't know how strong they're going to be this year, but they got a great team coming back from what they did last year. Last year they finished up real strong, so I believe in them.
You know who Dr. Jerry Punch is, Doug, our sideline reporter?
Sure.
You know who Jerry Punch is, our sideline reporter?
I don't know.
We're going to get him dressed like you are for our next ball game Thursday night.
All right, go get it. Go after it.
Well, get healthy, Doug, and we love visiting with you, but we'd rather see you with your helmet on playing.
All right, thanks a lot. Hey, everybody back home. Hi, Larry.
Doug Flutie, the 1984 Heisman Trophy Award winner and the most outstanding player in the CFL the last 4 seasons, the first ever to win that award in 4 consecutive years. And there's the counterpart when you talk about quarterbacks going to the Hall of Fame, but it has been a long and frustrating night for number 16 in the blue.
Well, he's had a good effort by the defense, and they've just been unable to get on track tonight, Mike. Matt Dunigan's an excellent quarterback. They'll bounce back.
Another punting situation for Scott Player. Pee-wee Smith and Marvin Coleman back deep. You know Coleman wants the football. He's driven back to the 15-yard line, mishandles it, picks it up at the 5, and he is chased down there, brought down at the 4-yard line. 3 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. A 65-yard punt with the aid of the mishandling of the football. As Eddie Davis chased down Marvin Coleman, and Scott Player gets credit for the 65-yarder. Well, we've seen just about everything tonight, except a single, which is called La Rouge, if you're French Canadian. And that's when the missed field goal is not returned from the end zone in the CFL. But, you know, Coach, I know you see the CFL in bits and pieces. We wanted it to be here in all facets for you this evening. Sorry we couldn't have a Rouge.
Well, the game's not over yet.
That's right.
We might pick one up, and I'm glad you explained that.
Just those 6 years of French, I like to at least use the 1 or 2 words I learned.
Did you learn that at Miami of Ohio?
Yes, I did. Made sure I didn't take that class at 8 a.m., so I would show up once in a while. Working out of the end zone, Garcia rolls to Alan Pitts. Well, that's one thing we haven't been able to see is Alan Pitts break the all-time record for Stampeders receivers. But that still is a possibility of happening. He was 38 shy prior to that reception. We'll take a break. 3-minute warning upon us. We're in the fourth.
Imagine. 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 Imagine.
Lotto 649's next jackpot is $12 million.
Is there something in the bedroom you need to talk about? It could be a common condition known as erectile dysfunction. About 40% of men over the age of 40 experience some form of it. Fortunately, a variety of daily and on-demand treatments are available. Talk to your doctor about which treatment is right for you, or visit 40over40.ca to learn more.
It's not where you've been. It's where your armpits smell like you've been. Old Spice Matterhorn. One of 4 triumphantly fresh new scents from Old Spice.
Okay, if you're one of those round-the-clock, we-never-close, 24/7 types who doesn't get paid until the job gets done, the last thing you need is a truck that doesn't have the stones to bring home the bacon. No problem. Introducing the all-new 2011 Super Duty. Thanks to its all-new Ford-built Power Stroke diesel, you get it all. The most horsepower, the most torque, the most payload, the most towing, and the best fuel economy. It's payday. The all-new Super Duty.
Beauty is on the outside, but you might have to get what's inside to get to what's sweet. Beauty that's in your mind, that's the one. Dolce & Gabbana, L'eau the one, eau de toilette.
Working deep from the 4-yard line, 2nd and 10, Garcia. Garcia in trouble, gets out of the end zone, and it'll be a punting situation from the goal line.
Almost a safety to add to this night.
Jimmy Reed made the tackle.
Sam Rutigliano, the former Cleveland Brown head coach, has joined us now. Sam, what's your thoughts of the Canadian game?
Well, I think it's a wide open game. It's a lot of fun. Jack Pardee's not having very much fun tonight. You know, Mike, those quarterbacks are the kingmakers. Calgary, obviously, is getting a great job done by a backup quarterback, and to me, that's the difference.
Do you think that the Canadian game will catch on to the people? You know, you and I talked at halftime about the 3-down type of thing, and what's your thoughts on that? I like some of the rules, I really do. I like the wide field, I like the kicking game where they can't fair catch it. I like a lot of those things, but I just wonder about the 3rd down.
Well, I think that's a part of it that, you know, in the American game, you know, that 3rd down, Mike, gives you a little bit more of an offensive show. Because, you know, they're thinking now after 1st down, they have to give the ball up on the next down. I would think that part of it, if they went to 4 downs, I think it would be a wide open game. And it's worked in Canada. I think it just needs some time in the States. After all, it's only a couple of years.
Garcia runs through the end zone, happy to give up the 2 points. And so the coup de defense gets a couple of points. Coach, you're down here in Birmingham, and you see a city that loves its football, and obviously great collegiate fans in the state of Alabama. Do you think in time they'll embrace this Canadian game?
Well, obviously, this is Southeastern Conference country. You know, I think they can compete with the National Football League. I think that there's a place for it. I think that eventually that, you know, if they stay with it, they'll draw their 25 or 30. They have some sanity in terms of what they're paying the players, and, you know, they got that one player. And I think that today it just has to make sense economically. And I think they can make money and have a good entertainment package.
And certainly we just saw Jack Pardee on the sidelines. To have a guy like Jack Pardee running your program, it gives it a great amount of credibility.
Oh, no question about it. You know, Jack was at Chicago, Washington, Houston, the University of Houston. Every place he's ever been, he's been a winner. And so, and as I said to the owner just a few minutes ago, Mike, burn the film.
That's
Look
right.
for next week. Just burn it.
It's a tough game coming back from beating this team a week ago, and then to come back, all the incentive is with Calgary. But Sam, you've coached on every level, and I know you're here with your president tonight.
Right.
How are things going with you?
Well, I'm at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia with Dr. Jerry Falwell, and I'm coaching 1950 kids in 1995, and I'm having fun.
That's great. Well, you've been a great gentleman in football, and one I'm proud to call a friend.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity. And tell Boomer I said hi.
Thanks, Sam.
Sam Rutigliano, the former head coach of the Cleveland Browns, now at Liberty University. And in a quarterback, number 15, Jimmy Klingler, out of Houston, younger brother of David Klingler, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. And so the night has come to an end for Matt Dunigan, and Will Johnson got to Klingler on the last play to record another sack to his impressive career totals. You look at him with the helmet on, looks a little bit like Big Brother, doesn't he?
Well, he does. He had a nice career down at the University of Houston under John Jenkins. He's in a mop-up job right now.
Signed as a free agent last year by Saskatchewan and released in camp, so considered a CFL rookie. The injured player that we are waiting to walk his way off the field is number 55, Thomas Raham. And the first half of the season will come to an end with a record of 5-4 for Brimingham. And Calgary will up their record to 8-1, and they are off the next 10 days before their much anticipated Labor Day Classic against arch rival Edmonton. The Eskimos and the Stampeders play Labor Day weekend every year in the Canadian Football League. 2 hours separate those two cities in Alberta, Canada. Klingler goes up and incomplete. Under 2 minutes remaining. Clock stops with 1:41. Intended for Marcus Grant.
Nothing has gone right tonight for the Birmingham team on either side of the ball. Just has been a night that, as Sam said, burn the film. Doug Flutie, his night's over as a sideline reporter. He got another job now.
No kidding. Now, he's such a great ambassador to this league. And as I mentioned earlier, he's beloved in Calgary. I mean, there was a time there was a uncertain future of that Calgary Football Club in the Canadian Football League, and then they got a guy to come to quarterback them for the BC Lions named Doug Flutie. And the rest, as they like to say, is history. They win a Grey Cup and have been in contention for one since then.
Was an excellent player, and as you said today, the Rocket, when he went into the Canadian League, it draws so much interest that Doug Flutie's up there and successful. And I think Doug Flutie could be successful in the NFL. In the right system, in the right club, he could be successful there.
I'm just going to try to sign as many as I can.
He broke some hearts down here in Legion Field years ago, too. They always talk about the comeback against Miami and the Hail Mary reception, but he broke a few Alabama Crimson Tide fans' hearts one day on a Saturday afternoon of college football.
Said that was his biggest thrill. They'd beaten him the year before at Boston in a snowstorm, and came back down here and won again in Birmingham.
You don't see this very often. Game's still going on. He's got time to talk to us and then sign some autographs. And this is what some of the fans, they love their Barracudas, or hopefully they're beginning to love them and embrace them, as Coach Rutigliano talked about. But they all came tonight to see Doug Flutie. Unfortunately, they saw him most of the time with the baseball cap on.
Well, they saw him work a little bit with us. Now, I think that was a
good work,
yeah,
too.
he did some good work with us.
Watch out, Dr. Jerry. And Doug's got a few years, I think, left in his CFL career. One of the marquee players, so he is one making a big salary in the CFL, as is Matt Dunigan. And that's how the salary structure works. There's a marquee player who you can pretty much pay the ranch to, and then the salary cap is very stringent after that. Matt Dunigan, the highest paid player in the CFL, and Garcia making just a microcosm of both those guys.
Well, look at that. Look at those numbers tonight. 26, 35. 3 touchdown passes and no INTs.
447 yards in the air for Jeff Garcia. (1 minute and 6 seconds remains. Next week, don't forget, ESPN coverage of the CFL continues. Timeout called on the field by Birmingham. These same Birmingham Barracudas will try to regroup as they make their last trip to the country of Canada to take on the Rough Riders of Ottawa. And that game will be played on Friday night up in the capital of the country of Canada, Ottawa, Ontario.
I'd hate to play this ball club next week because I think Birmingham will bounce back. John Jenkins, who's an excellent coach, will get this offense and get them going. And you're going to see a different Birmingham team next week.
Eddie Britton, Matt Cody back deep to receive. Martino has not been called upon on frequent occasion tonight. Low driving kick taken by Britton at the 35-yard line. Britton scampers up back to the 43. A 45-yard punt, a return of 7. Kevin Reed makes the special teams play.
Mike, I've enjoyed working with you tonight. You're going places. You're good.
Thank you very much, Coach. Enjoy the CFL schedule. You got a great schedule forthcoming.
Looking forward to it, and it's going to be an exciting college football season. All kicking off this week. Thursday night, we got Oklahoma State and Nebraska, and then Saturday, Syracuse at North Carolina. So really 2 good games.
Jumping right into it, coverage of college football all year on ESPN, and also a great schedule of college games on ESPN2 this upcoming season.
There really are some great games, and they're going to be exciting.
Klingler goes to Phillips. Phillips is hit at the line of scrimmage, basically a gain of 2. Marvin Pope was there along with Raymond Biggs. I'll tell you what, it was a pleasure to work with the crew here that will be bringing you the CFA assignment and all the guys tonight. Thanks for a great job done here on your CFL warm-up for college football season forthcoming on ESPN. And everybody looks forward to that prime time. You sit down on a Saturday evening, you've watched a handful of games, and you kick back and listen to Mike Gottfried and Mike Patrick and Ron Franklin bring you some great action.
Well, thank you. It's a lot of fun.
So now just 30 seconds remaining. Al Jordan defensively for Calgary. And you can't say enough, and Doug mentioned it too, about this Calgary defense. They hold Birmingham to just 14 points, and that's really unthinkable in the CFL.
Good game plan tonight by Frank Spaziani. He's had that towel over his shoulder on the sidelines, and he has just put together a nice plan tonight. And Greg Knox, the free safety, there you see Frank right in your picture now with the towel on his shoulder. Greg Knox, the safety, number 8, just with an excellent game.
One more time, Coleman to try to thrill the crowd. Watching at home in Calgary, because not anybody was happy here in Birmingham when he returned the last kick 82 yards. Scampering up, has a little bit of room. Coleman again springs himself free. Caught from behind this time at the 43-yard line. 51-yard kick, 27-yard return. .15 seconds remaining. Calgary, as I mentioned earlier, will up their record to 8-1. They opened the season 7-0. Upset last week up at their home stadium, McMahon Stadium in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. But they are back on the winning track, and will have time to sit back and enjoy this one. 10 days off before they meet the Eskimos of Edmonton.
Tires. Woo!
And this should end the football game. And don't forget, we'll check in with all the happenings. That big Michigan comeback. Reese Davis standing by in our ESPN2 studios with the Sports Smash. And plenty of baseball to talk about. And before we know it, we're going to be talking postseason baseball here, as the month of August has almost been eaten up. What a night it was for the Calgary Stampeders. Wally Buono sees his defense play effectively, and the big stars offensively were Jeff Garcia and David Sapunchis. The final score, Calgary 37, Birmingham 14.
Going long, he's got Jackson, touchdown! And with that, David Allen is the CFL's all-time leading passer.
Kennedy took that helmet
U.S. Open Golf Week beginning on the 14th. A tribute to the Grey Cup champion Montreal Alouettes from the 21st to the 23rd. And Canada Week